to hear what Mike just said about Tyler, but what Tyler Lockett can do in a game even when the ball's not coming his way at time. When you go back and look at last week, like how was he impacting the game beyond just the catches?
Well, he drew 2 PIs, one that helped us close the game out on our final drive. So even I think when he doesn't catch the ball, he still impacts it because defenses have to respect him. He's a 10-year vet in this league who's done amazing things. So you got to prepare for him.
Is there an art to drawing a PI at all? I mean, it seems like he gets maybe a few more of those than some guys.
Yeah, it seems like I can't get none and he get all of them. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it evens out. But no, he's one of the best that I've ever seen, at drawing a PI. Whenever the ball goes his way, he either catches it or there's a PI 9 times out of 10. So, no, I don't think there's an art to it. I think, he has it down pat.
Miami's a team that you guys don't see very often. Does that make a difference when you go to game plan or when you're trying to figure out tendencies for some of those guys you'll go against?
No, I mean, I've gone against Jalen quite a bit. Kendall Fuller, he used to be with the Washington Commanders, so seen him quite a bit. And they got 2 new safety in Justin Poyer. D-line is pretty much the same, but I think they're the key focus of this group. So, no, I mean, it doesn't change the game plan. You still got to go out there and execute. But I think the defensive scheme is pretty much the biggest point that we got to try to decipher and, execute better than them. We go against the defense every day. Pretty much Mike runs the same defense. Well, they run the same defense as Mike. Let me not, give him his credit. But, no, I mean, it just pretty much comes down to executing.
Those lines, I mean, how similar is it? Like, is it pretty much the same thing?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same defense. They have a couple of nuances, just like the Tennessee Titans had a couple of nuances. Still the same defensive scheme with its, little alignment issues here and there.
So what have you learned in going against your defense and being ready for that style?
Very multiple, very schematic to where they will bluff and blitz in other places. I mean, they try to take advantage of the pressure sometimes when they bring more guys than we can block, hoping the rush hits home before, the coverage breaks down. So I think the difference is basically the coach's tendencies. He likes to blitz a lot, and looking forward to that on Sunday, and we just got to handle the blitz well.
DK, you mentioned you've gone against Jalen Ramsey a number of times. Can you talk about what that matchup brings?
I mean, with any corner, whenever you got a DB and a receiver going against each other, it always, brings out the best competition, in my opinion, especially going against a great corner like that. But I've had a good chance to go against 2 good corners in Gonzalez and Surtain the first 2 weeks. But looking forward to another battle. Nothing different, still football at the end of the day, though.
DK, these first 2 weeks, you guys, it's been close games, yet you find the play you have to make to win the game. What does that do for a team? What does that say about this team that when it's come down to it, you guys have found a way?
I think it's just the NFL. Mike put up a stat that said 10 out of the first 16 games finished in one-score games in the fourth quarter, and then last week it was either 12 out of 16 or 13 out of 16. So it's just the nature of the game. You're not going to win every game by a blowout, so you got to learn how to close out it, when it matters.
DK, I imagine you felt it was going to come at some point for him anyway, but to see Jackson have the numbers he did in the game last week, was that good for you guys to see him finally have a breakout like that statistically?
I don't think it was good. I think it's bad for the defenses that try to cover us from here on out because you got Locke, me, Jackson. You still haven't seen Noah. You saw Ken week 1. Zach Charbonnet still has to break out. So I think, it's just a ticking time bomb for all of our stars on offense just to, have their game.
I don't know when you watch film how much you look at the offensive line play, but what if you do? How much does Charles Cross stood out to you this year?
I haven't seen his name on the little comment section when I'm watching film, so I think that's a good thing in my book. Yes, sir. But I mean, you don't hear his name much. You don't see much from the offensive line, but I think they played their butts off these first 2 weeks. As an offense as a whole, we got to execute better and help them out with running quicker routes. But at the end of the day, the offensive line is one of the toughest positions to play because you got a lot of beasts on the defensive line. But I think hats off to our whole O-line, for giving us time to score as many points as we did.
What have you seen from his personality as it's come out in the last couple of years?
Who, Charles? He don't got one. Nah. Him and Derek, nah. Don't expect many words from them. Yeah.
You mentioned the weekly matchups with the cornerbacks in terms of Surtain and Gonzalez, and there's never a week off for you. How would you describe your makeup in terms of embracing the fact that every week there's going to be their number one guy? And have you always been that way in terms of sort of embracing that challenge?
I really don't look too much into the matchup. I study every DB or every defense the same, but at the end of the day, the way I look at it is on Sunday they have to guard me, and I don't have to go against pretty much anybody. I feel like my mindset is they got to stop me or stop our offense before they distract us or disrupt any of what we have going on.
A lot about Geno's kind of underrated. But can you just talk about his ability to scan downfield and then distribute the ball to the different receivers you just talked about?
Yeah, y'all been calling this man underrated for 3 years, and when is it gonna stop?
I didn't know that.
Well, you just said it. But he's not underrated by any means. He's an NFL quarterback, just like 31 other NFL quarterbacks. I don't think the underrated title should be used anymore. He's very successful in what he does. He's led us to one playoff appearance and should have been in the playoffs last year. But we just got to play better as a team, do better for him on offense. But his preparation, his approach to the game has always been the same.
Let me clean that up. Is Geno Smith one of the best leaders in the NFL at quarterback?
Yes, in my opinion, yes. He's a great leader at quarterback and great at what he does at the quarterback position.
Is there anything you feel like he's gotten better at, or is it just kind of a continuation of kind of what he's?
I think just seeing him from a pure leadership standpoint. We've both got here at the same time, so we've been together for 6 years, and just seeing him go from a backup to a starter, I think is just crazy because you go from Russell Wilson to Geno Smith, and there's really no drop off in play. They both execute at a high level. Both can have the ability to extend plays and lead a huddle, and lead their team to victory, as both of them have shown.
DK, there was a couple of catches I'm guessing you would have liked to had in that game, but then you were key on the drive to tie the game and key on the drive to win, as well as the big touchdown. Can you talk about the mental fortitude it takes to kind of go to the next play after a drop or something like that?
Oh, you just said it. Just go to the next play. You can't cry over spilled milk is, I think, an old saying. But, you got to forget about it and just move on because, the next play the ball may find you, and, you can't be thinking about the last play or a previous drop.
You feel like you're the same in that capacity as when you came into the league, or have you grown in that?
No, I've definitely grown in that aspect. I don't think I'm the same person or football player as, from my rookie year.
Does it feel like defenses are bluffing a lot more?
I think so, yes, because you have to disguise it just by how good the quarterbacks are, the quarterback play, and recognizing pressure or recognizing defense and their ability to see a blitz and then throw right behind the blitz to where it kind of scares the defense out of blitzing again and makes them sit back in coverage, and that's when you try to run the ball.
What challenges, from a receiver's perspective, does a defense that bluffs a lot put on you guys?
We can't do anything but run our routes, and if the ball finds us, it finds us. If it doesn't, then we got to go back to the sideline, game plan better, and execute better than the next drive.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, DK.